Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a really easy fly. This is going to be, I was looking through my books and a purple and snipe, but I don't have snipe and it looks very much like a grizzly, so we're going to make a purple and grizzly, which is probably more available to everybody. I've never even seen snipe on the fly tying shelves. So we're going to make a purple and grizzly. The hook I have in the vise, this is a Scud shrimp hook. Just because I like this, you could tie them on a straight shank wet fly nymph hook. I'm just going to tie this on this because I just like this hook for a wet fly, for a soft hackle wet fly. So I'm going to use a purple thread. It looks very blue here, but it is purple. It's the Superfly purple, and this is 6/0. We're going to make a start behind the eye of the hook. You don't have to go right to the eye, but we're going to come back only a couple of millimeters, and we're going to trim that off. The reason I didn't put thread all the way to the eye, when I go to wrap the hackle, I want to have least amount of material there. Sometimes when you go right to the eye, what happens is you get too much of a buildup and you get a nice, really fat head. So this is, like I said, very simple. It's only two materials. We're going to use purple floss. This is Unifloss purple. And we're going to cut a piece. I have about an 8 or 9 inch piece here. And there's two ways you can do it. You could take it and I could wrap it around it. And tie it in like that. Or you could go ahead and just catch it from the edge like you normally would. And that's what I'm going to do, is just catch the edge, keep it all 9 inches back here. Then we're going to secure that. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap this. I'm going to go back and then I'm going to come forward again. And this is, the Unifloss, basically silk floss, and you can see it kind of separating there. So if you have a rotary vise, it might be a good idea to actually use the rotary vise, and it won't separate as easily if you use the rotary vise. But if you do have the rotary vise and you're doing that, it is a good idea to put your thread in a bobbin cradle. And the way you do that is just tie a half hitch right here, and your bobbin cradle takes it out and it keeps it at the same height as the hook, and then the thread won't climb the hook. So I'm all the way down, and then I'm going to come back. So this is basically going to be the poor man's snipe and purple, or purple and snipe. You can see how it's wrapping because I didn't put it in the bobbin cradle. You can see how much it is wrapping. If you don't put it in the bobbin cradle, it's a good idea to count how many times you actually rotate your vise. And then, if you rotate it 15 times, then you got 15 wraps to unwrap on your thread. We'll go ahead and tie that in. And you can hear the rain is really coming down now. It looks like a car wash against my window here. We actually had a tornado warning also. But I'm going to continue. And now I'm going to take the Grizzly hackle, and you can see here this is a lot of web. If you look at the tip, you can see the web is that center part, but I'm going to only give it this 2 wraps maybe. So I'm going to go ahead. This is a large hook. It's actually a size 12, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the bottom part, which has a very large hackle. we're going to go ahead and give this the crew cut. Go ahead and trim those off. And then because I only have a small space there, I'm going to trim that down. So I have 4 or 5 crew cut barbels sticking out. We're going to tie that in. And again, the reason you give it the crew cut is so the thread has something to grip onto and you won't pull it out. But I'm going to keep that thread just about halfway between the eye and the hackle. Then I'm going to stand it up, and you can go ahead and pull everything to one side just like that. And like I said, I'm only going to give it like 2 turns. There's 1 and 2, and because I used the part of the hackle that was so far down, the stem is thick, so it made it right up to that halfway point really quick. If you have a really skinny hackle, it might take you 3 turns to get to that skinny point. I'm going to go ahead and take my poke and snip cuticle trimmer and remove that hackle. Then we're just going to hold this back. We're going to wrap the head, but we are also going to come back on those hackle fibers just 1 thread width. There we go. I know out west the purple haze it's called, and they use that purple a lot, and the purple haze is basically it's basically an Adams but with a purple body. Go ahead and whip finish this, and on your whip finish, just one more time, go ahead and put the hook over the thread, go around the camel hump, bring it back, and there's your X. There it is there. Then invert it, take the X down to the shank, 1, 2, 3 wraps. Tighten that up. Go ahead and trim that off with the poke and snip again. Then we could go ahead and put a little bit of head cement on that head. Have a nice clean head there. I shouldn't get any inside the eye. And if you wanted to, before you put the hackle on, you could actually put head cement on your floss, but it's not needed. It's floss, and depending on how many fish you catch, I mean, eventually the floss is going to start to fray. And here we have a purple and grizzly, and this is the poor man's version of a purple and snipe. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know that I sent you. If you do subscribe to my channel, remember to hit the notify button so that you won't miss any of my videos. You get an email every time I put a video up. If you'd like to purchase any flies from me, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it there, please just send me a message and we'll figure things out, what you're looking for. You send me a picture, I can copy it from a picture, you can describe it to me, and anyway, just get a hold of me on Etsy, get right back to you, and most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.